Thomas Nelson is putting out a lot of different kinds of Bibles, and this is a really nice one, unique one that we're looking at here. It's a compact reference Bible. Compact, we're going to see this is quite small, very easy to carry around, very portable. It is a King James Version edition that we're looking at here, King James translation, in the black leather soft. And I like this. This is a nice feature. It has a zipper. The back here of this slipcase that it comes in has good information about this Bible. And we'll see here it does have a 7-point comfort print font, which for the size of this Bible is actually pretty decent. And it has some other nice features that you see here. This one, the leather soft with zipper, retails for $49.99. You can, I'm sure, get it cheaper than that online, but that is the retail price. So you've got that slipcase, and then looking at the Bible itself here, the leather soft from Thomas Nelson, they do such a good job with it. And depending on the color and the type of leather soft that they use, they can look different. They have different styles, but this one has a very genuine leather look to it. It's not real leather, but it does look real. So you see a nice little grain pattern in there. Also on the front of this Bible, you have a cross and the Holy Bible stamped on the front. A little hard to see here, but there are tooled lines framing the front of the Bible. It also has perimeter stitching. And on the spine, you also have a cross stamped here on the spine. Some tooled spine hubs and a gold print. So it has a very elegant, classy look to it, stately look to it, which is fitting for the King James, kind of that more traditional, formal look to this Bible. You also have tooled lines on the back here. And if you're going to have a compact Bible, the idea is that you can bring this anywhere. So having a zipper really protects the Bible. I think that's a great feature for a Bible this size. When you get in here, you see it is a paper paste down. Now I will say it's a coated paper. I've seen some paper that's actually feels cheaper than this, so I do like the fact that it's a coated paper, but it is kind of a paper type material. Then you have the presentation page, title page, and looking at the copyright information here, it's printed in China, printed in 2023, this particular printing. It does say that the typeface was created by 2K Denmark. So you're going to see the typeface is really nice. Nicely designed, good look to it. Here's the contents. And you have the biblical text, also some nice features in the back as well. So here's the Old Testament title page, and then we get into the Bible itself, and you'll see that there are book introductions. And they're decent book introductions. They're not necessarily the best ones that I've seen, but they're okay. They give you a little bit of information about each book. Then you have a double column verse-by-verse format, which is pretty common for the King James. Now this is a 7-point font, but it being the comfort print designed by 2K Denmark, it's very boldly printed. So even at this size, it's quite readable for the average person, I would say. This would be a nice, easy Bible to read if you want something that's very portable. It's really amazing what they got into this small space. At the bottom right-hand corner, you do have some references, some cross-references. So not only do you have a text Bible, you have a reference suite here. So it is a reference Bible, all in this very condensed format. Pretty amazing. As you go through the Bible and you get into some poetic sections here, it's just that same verse-by-verse format that you see in the other parts of the Bible. It doesn't have stanza setting for poetry, but being verse-by-verse anyway, it does kind of break the poetry up pretty naturally, nicely. I do notice here in the reference suite that there are some footnotes here, maybe some alternate translations. So it's not just cross-references. You do have some footnotes, but they look like they're just alternate renderings maybe. Let's get to the end of the Old Testament here and into the New Testament. Take a look at it. So here's the New Testament title page. And then you have book introduction for all the books, and again that double column format. And what about the words of Christ? Yes, they are red letter. Now, one thing you'll notice about this format, and I actually really like this, that the verse numbers, even in the red sections, are still black verse numbers. I actually prefer that. Provides like a real consistency there, which you tend to see in the higher quality Bibles, like from Schuyler, but it's good to see it in this edition. I do notice, though, with this formatting that the line spacing is pretty condensed. So that can affect readability, but again, you're getting it in a very compact format, the entire Bible in this footprint. The red, though, is printed pretty nicely. It is a little bit on the brighter side, I would say. I prefer something that has more of a deep red, but it seems like it's printed pretty boldly and consistently. So if you like red letter print, I think you're going to like this just fine. If you're not fond of red letter print, you may not like it, but it's acceptable. It's definitely, I'd say, on the nicer side as far as red letter goes. There are definitely red letter Bibles that have a lot of print inconsistency and faded red print, but this is pretty nice and bold for what it is. And again, all the print in this Bible has really kind of a bold look to it, which is just great for readability. Getting to the end of the Bible here. After the biblical text, you have a chart here on the miracles of Christ, then a chart on the parables of Christ, a one-year Bible reading plan. Here's the KJV concordance. They just packed so much into this. A reference Bible with some charts, a concordance, and you also have maps, colored maps in the back. And yeah, everything's smaller in this Bible, but I can even read these maps pretty well. They're printed very nice and crisply on glossy cardstock paper. Then you have the paste down liner in the back, that paper paste down. The corners actually have a nice little pleated look to them, maybe a little hard to see there, but they are kind of pleated. So overall, I would say it's pretty nice. It's not necessarily the highest quality materials, but it's a $50 Bible retail price, so quite affordable. I do want to also mention that it has gold gilt on the page edges. Nicely done. No art gilt, no color under the gold, but a nice gold page edge. And no ribbon on this, which when you have a zipper, it's a lot of times better not to have something that could get caught in the zipper. Now, one Bible that I do want to compare to, because they've come out with a zippered version of this, it's the Schuyler Personalize Quintel. And since you can get this in a zippered version, it might be nice for you to see just how these compare. Now, this one doesn't have a zipper, but you can get it in a zippered edition. It has a larger font, of course. It's an 8.5 font in the PSQ, the Personalize Quintel, versus the 7-point font. Both have references, both double column format. But one thing that obviously is different about this is it's just so portable. It's even smaller than the Personalize Quintel. So that gives you a comparison. It's definitely a bit thinner, not as tall or wide either. So this is personal size. This is really compact. And there's a difference between those two. And then one other one people might want to see in comparison, that's a well-known Bible, is the Pitt Minion from Cambridge. Now this does have a font that I think size-wise is pretty comparable. I think this might be a 6.5 to 7. Maybe it is 7. But the Pitt Minion is known for kind of having smaller font. So let's do a comparison here. This is an NIV, but it still gives you an idea of how these two compare. And I would say that it looks to me like the KJV Compact Thomas Nelson Bible on the left is actually a little bit of a larger font, I would say. So the Pitt Minion, I'm guessing, is more in the 6-point-something range font, a little bit less than 7, whereas you have a clear 7-point font in the Comfort Print on the left. So honestly, I would say even more readable than the Pitt Minion, although I like having the references in the center column. But I do think the way that they formatted this Bible just allows them to have decent sized font for what it is in a very compact space, even smaller than the Pitt Minion. So that's how it compares to some pretty popular Bibles, and those Bibles that I showed you would cost a lot more than this. So if you want something even more compact and even more affordable, you can get this in the leather soft cover. It has a really nice, high quality, beautiful look to it. Has that zipper as an option if you want a compact with that protective zipper on the side. That's just wonderful that that is now an option available. The KJV Compact Reference Bible from Thomas Nelson. If you have any questions or comments about this Bible, I'd love to see that in the comment section. Thank you so much for taking a look at this with me from a fresh perspective.